So the first thing I would like to talk about, it's very briefly about the purpose of the team building and why do we do things we do. Because I think in UIP, it's, especially in the chairing, it's really important, and not only in chairing but also whatever you do. Um, it's really important to think purposefully. So basically, about not randomly doing things, but doing things purposefully and doing things with a particular goal and particular aim in mind. So basically, and as well, this is what we're going to talk about during this module um, about the topic tailored team building. So, in terms of whatever activity you do regarding the team building, I think it's really important to think purposefully. So, um, you do things in order to achieve a particular goal. So, a basic example, you do the name games in order to um, let delegates know their names. As simple as it is. So, yes, thinking purposefully, focusing on your goal and objective. And it goes with the question, will the particular game help you achieve your goal? So there are plenty, and there are a variety of games with a certain goal in mind. So I think that's a very important question as well, to ask yourself beforehand, before executing a particular activity. Will this help you to achieve your goal? Because very often you can experience people doing things randomly, and okay, this is also fine. But I think being focused on the particular complexities of the group and focus on the particular needs of the group, you need to be able to evaluate, and you need to be able to kind of understand what the group needs and what kind of activities will help you to achieve particular goals. And the third thing would be the tip about being observant, because I think that's the time when you get your group, not only committee, but if you, for example, do a team building at your school or at your workplace or whatever, I think this is the very, very important time, and it is very, very essential to be observant and to have your eyes widely open, because this is a time when you have all of the people in the palm of your hand, because all of the behaviors, they're going to pop up, all of the complexities of the group and the group dynamics, it's going to be visible during that very period of setting up the working environment. So yeah, that's why we do things we do. Any questions? Alles klar. Fantastisch. So, a short to-do list, I think that's quite basic and understandable, but yeah, as I said, decide what you want to accomplish. So think about your goal, think about your objective, then schedule it for an appropriate time. So basically, as well, you need to have some kind of structure in order to be efficient, in order to achieve your goal, and then make it special. So this is where we're going to move on to the topic tailored team building, and I will give you a little hints on how you can do it. So basically, first thing is write down your topic. I think before thinking even about doing something connected with the particular topic, it's important to understand it. And it's important to understand the complexities of that topic. of course, it goes with the research, it goes with the understanding of the building blocks of this topic. But yeah, I think this is the first step as well that you should take before even thinking of connecting any activity you do with your committee or with your team, is to crack down your topic. Yes. Then how you can put the delegates in the mindset of doing the topic tailored team building, and what's kind of the I would say not working procedure, but what kind of what does it, how you can connect it. So basically, I think the main idea behind the topic tailored team building is to giving your delegates hints. So basically, you start triggering them about the topic. You start triggering their mind and already focusing their mindset on the particular complexities of the topic. So basically, already in the team building stage, you make them focus and you make them think and you make them internally start this discussion about the topic. So that's all about those little hints that you can, throw into your during your team building stage. So then later on, it will translate into better understanding of the topic. Yeah. So now the most important part, how to do it. So I divide it into 3 sections. There are also variety of them, and there is an individual approach into that, and perhaps you maybe did it differently, but that's kind of to understand it in the most kind of basic and understandable way. So first of all, match game times to your topic. I will talk about that at some point later as well, but just to mention it here. So for example, more creative boost games for seeking solution-oriented topics. So for example, you want your delegates think more creatively and to be more creative in order to facilitate this kind of exchange of ideas, in order for them to later on being more able to find the creative solutions. This is also connected with the idea of the activity targeted team building, but I will talk about that in a second. So yeah, you make them in a nutshell, you give them a creative task to boost their creativity, and then later on you move into the for example brainstorming of the ICs or OCs or problems, whatever. So basically, the team building task facilitates the activity that follows. Cool, understandable, fantastic. Then that's the most common, and I think the most remarkable method that can bring in amazing outcomes in order to facilitate the most remarkable method, and I think it brings the best outcomes, is to adapt game to your topic. So basically, for example, you have the just some examples, role playing of your topic stakeholders. So for example, in some game you already introduce the parts and institutions or people or all of the kind of blocks that are connected with your topic. And the other one, that's the most common thing, is customize or personalize problem solver or the conflict game. So you can go as creative as possible in that matter, and I think it's one of the best ways to tailor tailor and cater your topic into the your team building into the topic. So, for example, I have the game that was created by our one and lovely President Nathan. So, for example, that's a kind of problem solver communication game that is designed in a way that it talks about the minority and majority problems. So basically, it's made in a way that delegates, they need to guess the word, and then they can propose a letter. And in order to propose a letter, they need to sacrifice one of the members of the group, and they're going to be blindfolded, and they have no more power to speak. So basically, what happens is delegates are confused for a few minutes. One or two may sacrifice themselves for the others since they don't like chocolate, but it doesn't matter. It's just something. It is important to reinforce the fact that you want them to think individually, not to form a circle, and to chat in small groups if they wish. Pretty soon, a small group will begin to figure out that they can propose to blindfold other people and only share the letter within their small group. A majority and minority should form soon. The former having full power over the minority and are thus able to sacrifice them in order to win letters for their own personal gain. So basically, the game is targeted to talk about the minority and majority problems. So basically, this kind of game is amazing for delegates to understand how the minority and majority works. And this is a beautiful example of a practical topic tailored team building game. So yeah, you can find it online, definitely, just to kind of give you an example of that. So yeah, the idea of adapting games to your topics. So as I said, the role playing of your topic stakeholders, or the customized problem solvers and conflict games. Yep. Then we have the last one is add new elements to the games. So basically, you can have already existing games that have a particular aim and goal in mind, and you can also think about the new elements you can add into that game. You can think about, adding blindfolds, or changing, objective, or kind of twisting around the main idea of the game with adding new elements into it. This is something that also works quite well. Is understandable so far? All good. Then I think that's the most important, especially with the team building, is to make it unique and avoid being repetitive. So I would highly encourage everyone to try new games every single time, and try new solutions and new ideas to in every possible environment, because this will bring you the understanding of the complexities of the group, of the complexities of the team building, and you will slay later on. So yeah, I think avoiding being repetitive, for me, for example, it fostered and developed my understanding of the process of the team building. And as well, if you make it unique, and if you make it never the same, I think it's going to be as well more joyful and entertaining for you as a chair, because if you keep being repetitive and you keep doing the same thing, at some point you're just bored, and the whole spark and the whole joy and this thing that you can cherish, I think it kind of blurs. So as well for especially chairpersons or for people in the media team or organizers or whoever, try to find new solutions and new games to every single session or to every single group in opportunity. Yep. Then what's happening? Yeah. The topic targeted team building contra activity targeted team building. It's the target, so the Kalashnikov bra. So that's why I decided to put it here. Aha. So yeah, I kind of mentioned it before, but yeah, the activity targeted team building is especially connected with the idea of certain activity that, for example, you execute something and then has an impact on the activity that follows. So, for example, you play a creative game in order to boost creativity of your delegates. So then you already focus their mindset and you already kind of trigger the creativity. So then straight after this, you move into the parts connected with your topic. So then you move into the, for example, brainstorming, and you will see that it's easier for delegates to brainstorm and creatively when they have this kind of activity beforehand. So that's the activity targeted team building, and then the whole thing we talk about the topic targeted team building. So when you implement the parts of the topics and the complexities of the topic already into the team building activity, so then it fosters better understanding of the topic already at the team building stage. So you have the nice transition and nice flow between the team building and the committee work. As well, you can start the whole topic introduction at the pre-session stage. So you can already introduce some of the things in your pre-session prep or in your introductions. So I think, from my experience, delegates, they like coherent and cohesive processes. So if you trigger them at the very beginning, and then you will be constantly and consciously executing it throughout the whole process of the session, you will see that you will be able to foster the understanding of the topic from the very, very early stage of the process throughout till the end.
Maciek, there is a question from Jova.
Yes.
Do you see it in chat?
Where do I open the chat?
It says, so is the activity targeted team building some kind of part of topic targeted team building?
Yes, of course. Sorry, I moved. Let me just move this thing here. Yes, it's a part of the topic targeted team building, in a way that, how to explain it in the simplest way. Let me have a sip. Yeah, I think for me, from my understanding and from my experience, all of the activities, not only on the kind of academic level, but also the activities that foster the process of getting the academic content are connected with the whole idea of topic targeted team building and topic adapted team building, because the idea behind this thing is to make delegates think about their topic and about the agenda of the committee from the very, very, very beginning of the group forming stage. Cool. So yeah, I mean, as well, the activity activity targeted team building, it's also kind of connected with the idea of integrated team building and committee work. So for example, there's this whole idea when you don't have a clear division between the team building and the committee work, why you put them all together. So basically, you don't do the name games, icebreakers, problem solvers, trust games, and then shut next day committee work, and etc. etc. But there is an idea that you put it all together in a way that in some kind of, how do you call it, zakładka.
Bookmark? No.
Like the things that they lay over, they intertwine or interchange. I don't know the word. So yeah, so that's the thing when you, for example, do the name game and then you do the creative game and then you move at the very beginning to the first brainstorming and then you do the other game and the other game, the other game. It's so you think purposefully about your outcome. You think how you can schedule all of the things in your process, so then one impacts the other and the other impacts the others. It's kind of like a chain reaction. But yeah, it's the conversation for the whole another module. But yeah, so that's the topic targeted team building and the activity targeted team building. And last but not least, I think this is one of the most important things when it comes to team building is, can you explain the game clearly and in a comprehensive manner? Very often you can experience delegates being utterly confused because the chairperson is not able, or the facilitator, the moderator, is not able to explain things clearly. And I think this is something really, really important, especially in the team building game, in the team building games and in the team building process, to, from the very beginning of the activity, make your target understand all of the rules of the activity and all of the complexities of the activity, because you want to do something, you plan for it 40 minutes, and then you very poorly explain it, and then it just destroys itself throughout the process. So basically, your objective is not met, your goal is not met, and you basically waste 40 minutes for nothing. So I think it is really, really important to be as concise and as coherent as possible, and as well, don't be afraid to explain it like if you were talking to someone who is mentally impaired. So basically, just be as keep it stupid simple. I think that's very important, and what else I wanted to say? Yeah, set up the straight rules, set up the working procedure for the activity, and then execute it and facilitate it. So yeah, the last applause for all of you. So yeah, that was the module on the topic tailored team building. Are there any questions? No, fantastic. So,
Actually, I might have a question
uh-huh.
in terms of the. So I think something that most of the people struggle with when it comes to tailoring their team building to the topic of the committee is the creativity part and actually coming up with the games which would be appropriate. So what would be your hacks for this? Like, what do you think people should think of first when they want to kind of build up a game which is adjusted to the topic? So what is like maybe like a checklist of things that they can think of to make it easier?
I mean, I think the easiest way to, and the easiest method and the easiest activity you can do is to customize the Abigail. You have the Abigail, you have the particular roles and particular, individuals in the Abigail game. So the easiest way and as well the most enjoyable uh, way of thinking about creatively adjusting your team building into your topic is to customize some problem solvers um, and some conflict games. Like you remember in Rotterdam when half of the chess team were one night figuring out weird problem solvers connected with their topics. When we were, exchanging the parts of the not stakeholders, the characters in the game into the stakeholders of our topics. So yeah, I think this is something you can do, and that's the easiest way. And as well, from one side, you have the introduction of the topic already at the team building stage, and as well, you kind of have a mutual and like dual kind of outcome, because from one side you make them think about the complexities of the topic, and from the other side, you do the conflict game. So you will see how your delegates behave, and you will see how they work, and discuss in this new set environment. But yeah, in terms of the checklist, I think it's, as I said, the first one would be the crack down your topic. So think about the complexities of your topic. And okay, how many times I said complexities during this? So is someone counting?
I'm starting to.
Okay, so yeah, first crack down your topic so you understand your topic. To think about the game that is most suitable for you to adapt, and very often and also very often, and the easiest probably is going to be, as I said, the problem solver or the conflict game. 3, adjust. So exchange the stakeholders, add things connected to your topic, think creatively. 4, keep it simple. Don't make it too tangled. Don't make it too twisted, because then it will not bring the outcome you want to have. You will not achieve your you will not meet your goal, your aim. And 5, execute it. Just go with it. And as well, I think it's important to don't to it's I think it's really important not to be very stiff, and not to be very you know cling when you cling to this idea. I mean, I think it's really important to be as organic as possible, because then something during the game might happen that it will totally distract you, and you will be like, oh, it doesn't go the way I planned. It's good. it's maybe even more amazing that it's going this way. So just, I would say as well, adjust to the adjusted games. um, because yeah, the I think the team building process, it should be organic and it can't be planned. And as well for um, all of the chairs that I had the pleasure to work with, I was always, you can't plan the team building. I mean, you can plan several. You can make a list of games you want to do, but then if you do it in a way that you do it with all of those games one by one, probably will fail. So I think it's really important to be organic, and it's really important to be adjustable, and cherish this process, and take advantage of that, and as well, don't be afraid to integrate it with your committee work. So there is no dry division between team building and committee work. Maybe on your session program, you will see the day one team building, day two committee work. It doesn't work like this. You can definitely integrate it together. You can definitely twist it. And if you fail, amazing. For the next time, you will know that you can do it differently. Then maybe you will fail again, even better. So don't be afraid of that, and don't be, as I said, too attached to the stiff idea of what you want to do, because people behave differently, and people behave differently under different circumstances. So yeah, I think understanding of those complexities is very important.